Good day, everyone, and welcome to your onboarding presentation. Thank you so much for being here today, and congratulations on officially becoming a part of the Alumni Association Board of Directors for Central Michigan University. My name is Caitlin Otteman, and today I'll be walking you through your onboarding presentation to make sure that you are ready and equipped for all of your new board member responsibilities. To the left of this slide is the onboarding expectations, which also serves as a bit of an onboarding timeline. The first portion of that is that you all should have received your official email from Megan Doyle and John Eady that has your onboarding binder, your welcome letter, and to make sure that you're ready for today. Today you'll participate in your onboarding training with me, and then you will meet your Alumni Association mentor who will be with you for your next year on the board, and you'll meet them in the next coming weeks. And then you'll have your first official meeting in the fall, and that'll serve as kind of the end of your onboarding period. With all of that said, let's move on to the rest of the presentation. This is an overview of your board binder, which is the document we'll primarily be using throughout this presentation. And because this is a bit of a shorter presentation, we're going to zone in on 4 distinct areas, and those are highlighted in yellow. This document is your best friend throughout your board service. It's going to have all of the information you need to be a successful board member. So without further ado, let's get into it. The first section that we're going to focus on is guiding principles and documents. And so the Alumni Association does have a mission, but they do not have a vision statement or formal values. Neither do they have a strategic plan. Due to this, they refer to Central Michigan University's strategic plan and their vision statement and their values, although there are templates within your board binder, so that way if the association at any point wants to adopt those, they can do so. So the mission of the organization is to enhance the lifelong relationship between the university and its alumni by fostering a sense of spirit, pride, and involvement. This is achieved by perpetuating a spirit of loyalty among alumni, current students, community members, and friends of CMU, promoting the establishment of constituent associations, acting as an information source about the university, and assisting the university in any other endeavors. So I kind of abridged some of these, but that is how the mission of the association is achieved. For this section, which is board member information, we're going to cover board member responsibilities, the board matrix, and committee descriptions, but this portion also includes the schedule of meetings, the board member and staff rosters, the executive officer descriptions, and the committee matrix. So this is a really vital section of the board binder and has a lot of information pertaining directly to the board members in terms of what's required of them. The Alumni Board has 6 distinct responsibilities for its members, and these include attending all meetings, and there are 3 meetings a year, one in fall, winter, and spring, and then a summer retreat every other year. It is also required that all members serve on committees, so that would include a primary and a secondary committee, and we'll get into what those can be in the next slide. The third is to actively promote and communicate. Communication piece is that if you did have to miss a board meeting or miss an event that you were on the committee for, that you're communicating that to the board within 48 hours. And so that is to just make sure that, since the board is larger and they're spread out all across the state, everyone is staying in good communication with one another. And then obviously the promote piece is promoting the events and the happenings of the board. The fourth responsibility is to volunteer at CMU. This should be done at minimum once annually, but this can be done more if you so choose. Attending and or organizing alumni events, and this should be done at minimum 1 to 2 times annually, but of course you can do more. And this can be as simple as just attending an event or joining one of those ad hoc committees to help plan said event. The 6th responsibility is to give to Central Michigan University. This is done primarily through the association members being Alumni Gold members and paying the annual membership fee. However, the association does encourage to give above that annual membership fee if the member can do so. So to that committees, for that second responsibility, the committees that general board members can participate in include the Internal Relations Committee, the Scholarship Committee, Awards Committee, and Ambassadors Committee. The Speakers Committee has an asterisk next to it because although it is still included in the bylaws, at this time it is not an active committee, so that is not one you can join at this time. However, an ad hoc committee you could join would be the Detroit Outreach Committee, and that would be perfectly acceptable as well. For the executive committee, the executive leadership positions include the president, vice president, and past president. And then the interim vice president of advancement and executive director of alumni relations and constituent engagement also hold ex officio seats on this committee. And then the board committee chairs also hold a seat on this executive committee as well. So if you want to be a part of the executive committee but don't want to hold those leadership positions, you can be a committee chair. Those do have to be appointed by the president of the association, though, and then chairs can appoint vice chairs if they so choose. The board matrix is a new piece of the binder and a new piece to the association. So every board member would have to self-identify their answers to these demographic questions, and then that data would be reviewed annually by the IRC. And the reason that a board matrix exists is so associations like yours and other organizations can identify the gaps in their membership to make sure they are creating a well-rounded board with diverse perspectives and diverse backgrounds in order to best serve their constituencies. Financial expectations are a bit unique for the Alumni Association, so I wanted to dive in a little bit as to why that is. For financial responsibilities of the board, because the organization is run through a public university and does not file as a separate 501c3 charitable organization and does not have articles of incorporation or file a Form 990 or any matter such as that, the board does not approve the annual operating budget of the Office of Alumni Relations, accept donations to the association, or conduct or oversee financial audits. However, the board does award funds for 3 alumni scholarships run through the Office of Alumni Relations, so they are awarding money out, and then they are bringing money in through being all Alumni Gold members and having that membership status as part of them being on the board. Going into governing documents, procedures, and policies, which is the final section of the binder that we'll cover today, we're going to go through a brief introduction to governance because this is a lengthier part of the binder and this is where the language gets very technical. Though I do recommend that you need to look through all of these portions and all of the rest of the binder. We will not go through the bylaws and constitutions today, but we will go over what it means for governance of the affinity chapter and kind of do a brief overview of all of the other sections. For the governance overview, as I mentioned, the Constitution and bylaws are the governing documents, and they are included in your binder. In addition, I have also included the duties of care, loyalty, and obedience, which are also otherwise known as fiduciary duties or legal duties. You might have heard them if you've served on other nonprofit boards. And these duties make sure that the association's board members understand the weight of what it means to be a board member and hold the position of authority that they do, and that they're acting in the best interest of the organization, making sure the organization is credible, legal, and serving the best interests of the public, or as for you, the alumni. Parliamentary procedure for the association is Robert's Rules of Order. If you have never done Robert's Rules of Order, in the parliamentary procedure section, there is a walkthrough of basic terminology and how the procedure operates. And then the association at this time does not have any formal board policies, and these policies are really important to make sure that the board is prepared for any particular situation so that they have a process set in place so they would know what to do and handle the matter accordingly. So there are templates within that section, so the association can adopt those if they so choose. And then the final part of governance is the affinity chapters. These are underneath the association. They act as the parent organization. And then these affinity chapters have separate gift accounts that are managed by the Office of Alumni Relations that manage all of their funds that they raise for their particular activities. The affinity chapters ensure that the association can reach their large audience of alumni in a more targeted fashion with more intentional and conscious impact. The current chapters are the Black Alumni Chapter and the Latino Alumni Chapter, and then potential new chapters include the Honors Alumni Chapter, the Fraternity and Sorority Alumni Chapter, and the LGBTQIA+ Alumni Chapter. Thank you for listening to my onboarding presentation today, and congratulations once again on officially becoming a part of the Alumni Association Board of Directors.